Hey, what's up, folks? This video, we're going to be talking about the trade war, the Chinese whole thing, immigrants. It's going to have some clips here, so let's dive into this, okay, guys? Hey, now, how many of y'all voted for Trump? Because I voted for Trump. This whole shit is crazy. I don't think a lot of you guys understand that a tariff is just a tax. Anyways, let's listen to Trump's explanation of how he thinks this whole thing is going. Let's check out this clip.
China, some economists are saying that right now is technically embargo on China with 125% tariffs. Are you concerned of escalation beyond the trade war with China?
No, I'm not concerned. I think President Xi is a very smart guy, and I think we'll end up making a very good deal for both. But, you know, we've been treated so badly for so many years. Again, we allowed that to happen. We've been treated so badly for so many years. But no.
Come on, Trump. We've been treated so bad. Why are you playing the victim card? This is America. We're not victims. We shape the world that's around us, and we've been doing this since World War II. Globalization. From space to NASA to the US dollar. The United States have shaped the world that's around us. We're not victims, Trump. You might think we are, but we are not victims. Our economy might be a victim, but our people are not. Let's continue this.
I expect that. I think President Xi is one of the very smart people of the world. And I don't think he'd allow that to happen. And we're very powerful. This country is very powerful.
Okay, let's all agree with Trump. This country is very powerful. Don't f with us. That's the number one rule. So the Chinese, y'all gotta understand, don't f with us, because we will nuke your fucking ass. Like we did the Japanese, but that's a whole nother video. Anyhow, yes, the United States is very, very powerful. But there are some very powerful people too up on the block. Yeah. So let's see what happens, because the Chinese, like they say, they've been around for 5,000 years before the United States ever existed. So this unfairness victim card that Trump's playing might not be the right thing to play at this moment. Let's see what else he has to say.
It's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody, not even close. So nobody's going to do that, but I think that if that's what you're referring to, maybe it's not. But just in terms of basic escalation, which is what you said, no, I think that President Xi is a man who knows exactly what has to be done. He's a very smart man. He loves his country. I know that for a fact. I know him very well. And I think he's going to want to get to a deal. I think that's going to happen. We'll get a phone call at some point, and it'll be off to the races. It'll be a great thing for them. It'll be a great thing for us. It's going to be a great thing for the world and for humanity.
Okay, at the end of that, I agree with Trump. President Xi is a great leader of China. I mean, I don't agree with the CCP party, but we're gonna have to make a deal. So, see where this leads. What other things are going on? Since Trump has been elected, we've had Tesla riots. We've had the stock market dip and then climb. What else is going on? Other than let's see, because Trump is actually doing what the Democrats were talking about doing years ago. Like, let's check out this clip of Hillary Clinton talking about the immigrants. This is literally what's happening today, deporting them. Check this out.
I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
See, all these things that Hillary Clinton is talking about in that last clip, Trump is literally making happen today. Literally. So the Democrats, I mean, when it comes to lying, now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong now here. The Republicans lied too. But the Democrats, they're the heavyweight champions. They got the belt. They got the belt. They're running around with that motherfucker. Let's continue this.
This announcement that China will increase the tariff rate on American goods coming into China to 125% effective Saturday comes off the back of a clarification from the White House that the increased rate that Donald Trump announced of 125% on Chinese goods coming into the US is in fact in addition to the 20% he'd already implemented earlier in this presidency. So that's bringing the total on Chinese goods coming into the States up to 145%. So this tit for tat continuing and continuing to escalate. Now, in the statement put out by China's State Council Tariff Commission, there is quite an interesting statement. They say that even if the US continues to impose higher tariffs, it will no longer make economic sense. They say at the current tariff level, there is no market acceptance for US goods exported to China. If the US continues to play the tariff numbers game, China will ignore it. It does go on to hedge a little bit, saying that if the US insists on continuing to substantially infringe on Chinese interests, Beijing will resolutely counterattack and fight to the end. So suggesting there that, Beijing might stop with the tit for tat on the tariffs, but there are, of course, other ways that Beijing can inflict pain on the American economy, even if it's only symbolic. For example, we've heard that Beijing plans to now reduce the already rather small number of American films that are imported into China every year. So there aren't many American films going into China every year, although it is a hugely lucrative market for those that do get in. However, this is, of course, something that really strikes at the heart of American culture, the American economy, saying that, Beijing saying they're going to target industries like Hollywood and the film industry. Now, we have also heard from Xi Jinping today. He's finally spoken publicly about this US-China trade war. He said that there are no winners in a tariff war. He was meeting actually with the Spanish Prime Minister and called on China and the EU to jointly oppose unilateral bullying, of course referencing Donald Trump's tariff regime, saying that going against the world will only lead to isolation. Now, some of the most recent comments we've heard from Donald Trump do indicate that he still wants to talk to Xi Jinping. He's talked repeatedly about his friendship with Xi Jinping, about the fact that he has a lot of respect for the Chinese leader. But on the other side, we are not seeing the same kind of rhetoric in return from Beijing. So it doesn't seem like those negotiation talks will be in the works anytime soon.
Okay, there's something that a lot of us aren't really talking about when it comes to this trade war, and that's the fact that a lot of these Chinese factories have stopped producing because of this tariff, because of the price to bring the products into the United States has now significantly increased. For example, if you're used to paying, say, $100 to bring in your product, now you got to come up with $100,000 to bring in your products. So a lot of factories in China have closed their doors, or in fact quit production, and are now just cleaning their factories. Check this out.
现在由于昨天关税的原因，全部把订单停滞了，还有这边还有，全部国外他撤 全是就是战平发货，这么多货物全部压在这里啊。这次关税贸易战呢，像我们这类中小企业将是首当其冲啊。暴风雨、枪林弹雨，我们冲在前面。如果某一天因为这贸易战我们倒下了，大家。
So in the world of globalization, the United States is the customer, China is the supplier. And if you understand economics, the customer always wins most of the time. Let's see how this plays.
China is fully prepared to fight to the very end because the world is big enough that the United States is not the totality of the market in the world. So if the United States wants to go in that direction of completely shutting itself out of the China market, be my guest.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which, as I've said, is 15%.
We don't
You
care.
can't...
We don't care. China has been here for 5,000 years. Most of the time, there was no United States, and we survived. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States. And we expect to survive for another 5,000 years.
When you hear Donald Trump say China wants a deal, it just doesn't know how to go about it. They're proud people. J.D. Vance talks about Chinese peasants. What do you make of their conduct in this respect?
If J.D. Vance thinks that he's dealing with the peasants in China, and I'm proud to be a descendant of the peasants, most of us are descendants of the peasants anyway, that's our tradition. We are farmers before. But now we are one of the leading industrialized economies in the world. So I'm sorry, J.D. Vance doesn't know what he's talking about. And therefore, I don't think there will be China-US dialogue unless the United States changes its attitude towards China. Deal with China as it is, show respect to China, show respect to the Chinese people, and don't try to impose your prejudice and biased view about China or about the rest of the world.
You guys heard that, man. What do you guys think Trump should do? I think Trump is barking up a tree that's too goddamn big, and he don't even know all the branches, and he wants to climb the tree. For what reason? I don't know. But should we start a trade war with China? Probably not. Should we renegotiate the deals when it comes to trade? Yes. Should we put a tariff on the American people? Probably no. That's not a good idea. Are we doing good deporting the illegal immigrants? Or Tom Holman? Yeah. Is Trump doing everything right? No. Would I vote for Kamala Harris? Absolutely not. Hit the comments below. Y'all have a good one. Peace.